Maker's Mark Distillery, and this is on our way to it. Right now we're really close. This is in Louisville, Kentucky, or just right outside of it. Okay, so this is my very first official bourbon tasting experience. I've done wineries, I've just never done a bourbon or whiskey thing, so we'll see how fun this is. We'll see how we like it. I did a coconut treatment last night and I washed it off the top here, but then like the bottom, still some of it's on. It looks really cool. I like it. And it's winter, so it'll help my hair be all moisturized. They have a Kentucky Derby one. I know. This is cool. You're a Kentucky boy, so this is your hometown.
This is super cool. I like seeing all the unique bottles.
Yeah, they're neat. So I'm not really one for wall art or paintings, but this is really cool because this is done by a really famous artist who does the things like the Persian ceiling. He does glass blowing, and a lot of you probably know who he is. This is his interpretation of the Persian ceiling. I think that's really neat. You can really smell the grains already. From way back there, it smells like donuts. Look at that.
It's the Bourbon Chase. So those of you that have never been here during that time frame, it starts tomorrow morning. You're gonna see a whole bunch of runners coming through here. They started, I think, Jim Beam's first, and they hit us next. So the Samuels family, they founded this property in 1953. So that's when they purchased the property. Now when they came here, there was a few reasons why they chose this location. One of the main goals was because the distillery was already here. It was a little bit of a rundown distillery. It was a grist mill. So we were able to come in, fix it up. We didn't have to start from scratch. So that worked out in our favor. And then also because of the limestone water. It's what everybody comes to either Kentucky or Tennessee to make their bourbon. The reason why limestone is so important is because it filters out the iron, so it's iron-free, rich in calcium and magnesium. So those are the main things you need for that bourbon process. So when it comes off the still, it's a crystal clear color. If you have iron in your water, it comes off the still more of a black tint. Not quite what you want to drink. You'll more the moonshine color, the good stuff. So we have a 10-acre lake, spring-fed lake, and that lake is back up over the hill. So that was our main goal, was having that lake close to the distillery. And then, of course, majority of our grains come from our local farmers, so we picked out a good location. Then it all starts right here in this room. So this is the heart of Maker's Mark. This is the only location we have. So anytime you guys see a bottle out, doesn't matter which state, which country it lands in, every bit of your Maker's Mark is done right here in this building. That is the coolest part to it all. Now the recipe that they chose, 70% corn, 16% soft red winter wheat, 14% malted barley. So we're a wheat bourbon. There is no rye in our recipe at all. Nothing bad against the rye, some people prefer it. A wheat bourbon kind of lands more on the tip of your tongue. It's going to be your sweet spot. Rye lands a little bit further back on your palate, gives you more of a bitter type taste, sometimes spicier. So just depends on which one you like. If you're not sure, maybe you figure it out when we get over into tasting. We'll see, right? Might be Maker's Mark, hopefully. Like straight up booze in here. Doesn't it smell? It smells just like straight up booze in here.
Yeah.
Kind of looked like it was alive, didn't it?
I know, it did. I can't believe that the wood they use in order to cook all the bourbon is from the 1800s. That's the original wood they're still using.
It's an old drive-through liquor store. I don't remember how long. She said 1800s, obviously. Let's see. 1889. And they said they can't clean it, they can't touch it for a while because they have to leave it the way it is. kind of like a museum. Are pretty fun.
Oh man, this is super cool.
I like it.
One of the warehouses, you notice the little small windows on it? They say they built them with little small windows, so that way you didn't have anybody coming in trying to steal the barrels and roll them out of the window. This is a small warehouse. This one was here with the distillery, so they just kind of fixed it back up, kind of hanging on to it as long as we can, I guess.
So how many barrels do you have between all of the warehouses?
Oh, every bit of a million.
Oh my gosh, this is a really cool place. This is amazing.
It is Stephen Rolfe Powell's artwork. So we actually have a total of 45 pieces that they brought. They're beautiful. It's more in memory of him. So he passed away this year. So his wife brought us all the art exhibits. So it's pretty awesome. Let's get back to our bourbon. So we get our barrels from Independent Stave Company. So they build our barrels there. So what they do is they let the oak age outside for about 9 months, one summer especially, let any of that heat kind of bring out all the green out of the wood. Then they're going to assemble it into the shape of the barrel. They char the inside of the barrels. We are at a level 3. It's about 40 seconds of charring is all that it takes for hours. Now each distillery can pick their own char level, what they decide on. So if it's a level 4 or 5, it's going to have more of an alligator type skin to it. It'll be a little bit rougher. So level 3, it's got a little bit more of a smooth texture. Once that's done, they ship the barrels to us. We inspect them. We fill them up. Then we place them on the top floors of the warehouse for about 3 summers. So we made a very nice man-made cave. A classy one too, very nice. So that keeps it around 50, 54 degrees year-round all the time. So that way we can make our 46 even in the summer months. So we're gonna go over to that building next. I'm gonna show you the difference between Maker's Mark and 46, how they built it differently. And then if you have not had it, we're definitely gonna try it when we taste one, right? It's the good stuff.
I think it's really cool how they age them to taste. They don't age them to like certain years, they just age them to taste. And it's usually anywhere, what'd she say, between 5 and 7 years? Mm-hmm. That's a long time.
Yep.
I bet this would be so pretty in Christmas time. They've got lights on the trees. I like the doors.
Mm-hmm.
In this room, they bring in barrels that are already fully matured makers. So they did their 5 to 7 year mark first. So they're going to bring that barrel into here, empty the bourbon out. The bourbon's going to go into the holding tank. Then they come down here on the floor and they stand these empty barrels up, take the top 2 rings off, take the lid off, place in 10 French oak staves inside the barrel. Put it back together, seal it back off. Then they're going to bring it up on that end there. They're going to fill it up with the same Maker's Mark that they take out. Roll it through the door for an extra 9 weeks in the cool room. So the 46 Bill Samuel Jr. was a creator 46. His dad created Maker's Mark. So Bill Jr. was getting close to retirement, wanted to leave something in his own legacy. So he started working with a wood chef. They tried over 120 different recipes. Fell in love with 46, decided to name it after the wood. So this is the one that he chose. It's French oak. Comes from France. They sear it into a stave. They run it through an infrared oven. So basically it's toasted. The only difference between Maker's Mark and 46, it is finished with the French oak stave. Now the reason why we need the cooler temperatures, because you just want that top caramelization layer is all that you're after. When you add that summer heat, you get those deep tannins, you end up with a nasty bitter taste. So they figured out they get a better tasting profile with the cooler room.
They're not replacing.
Those are neat looking.
No, one time
They're super cool, and there's some on the wall. Beautiful.
46. The ones down on the floor, those are all private select. So each one of them, they're all unique. Every one of them's different. They've all met in this room where that glass window is. Oh, he works in there. Right. He helps you pick out your wood. Make some faces at it. He ain't paying no mind to you.
Wow,
How much does it cost to do?
that's neat.
It's rained several days in a row. It'll actually trickle water down the back and on.
This is the room where they select
It used to be your parking
their
lot.
wood for the private select.
On this end here is where it starts, and we're just going to follow the line on down. We'll exit out the other end, but we'll let everybody get a chance to see the dipping. They're handling 350, 400 degree wax. They can dip anywhere from about 23 to 26 a minute. Let's walk in so you can see it in action. Already laid out, so just make sure you have samples where you're sitting in.
Where do you want to see?
So we are finishing up our tour, and at the end of the tour they have this absolutely beautiful display of art from the artist Chihuly. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. I'll have it up on the video so you can see it, how it's spelled. But this was absolutely breathtaking. I've never seen anything like this. He's one of those guys that does a lot of glass blowing work, and his glass work is absolutely stunning, and you can see it in a lot of different places. But this just happens to be the ceiling art piece, and I was blown away. So I did decide to do the wax dipping at the very end, so I did buy my very own bottle of Maker's Mark 46, and I decided I would finish up the tour by doing the very touristy thing of dipping your own bottle in the red wax.
Take your bottle, head on up, ladies and gentlemen, in just a moment. Okay? All right.
Hey, I'm all set.
Have you ever dipped before? All right. 4 fingers in the back, straight down, straight up, 90 degrees, twist, down. And dip it to about right here. I did it! I know, pretty. Yep.
That was fun. I gave it a tail in the back. So that concludes our Maker's Mark tour. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making it. It's a really fun place to go. I learned a lot. There was a lot of fun history and learning how they make bourbon in Kentucky. If you guys are ever in the Kentucky, Louisville area, this isn't too far away, and it would be a fun experience to go out and just kind of see how they do things, and they're still running it very much like they used to back in the day, so that was really fun to see. But overall, I had a good time, and I really enjoyed learning about how Maker's Mark is made. Thank you guys so much for watching again. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, be blessed.